According to Brené Brown, one of the world's leading researchers on shame, shame is the intensely painful feeling or experience that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love, belonging, and connection. Welcome to The Vibrant Couple. My name is Valdo Lallement. I'm a relationship coach. Today, I want to talk about shame, an emotion that destroys too many men. How does shame affect men? How to develop emotional intelligence, especially in the wonderful adventure of a couple, understanding effect and understanding motivation. As babies, we are born with two primary needs, belonging and authenticity. So authenticity is to become, of course, over the years, our own unique self. And belonging as a baby means survival. Shame is a social emotion to help us belong. It is triggered by the fear of disconnection. I don't belong. I am not worthy of love. Shame, and more particularly shaming, affects all. But there are some gender differences. For example, women tend to be more shamed for their beauty, and men tend to be more shamed for their strength. Shame is lived differently by men and women. Often for women, it is, I am too much, I am unlovable. And for men, I am not enough, I am a failure. I am making this video for both men and women on the impact of shame on men. This is in no way to minimize the impact of shame and shaming on women. Both men and women are easily prey to a downward spiral when they explore shame. If you're watching this video, I trust you have enough emotional intelligence to know about mad, sad, and glad. Basically, anger, sadness, and joy. The fourth primary emotion being fear. With these four emotions, we can fairly easily, of course with a lot of work, but we can learn to manage them. Shame is the fifth primary emotion. It is different from the first four from the sense that it is very difficult to learn to manage. We typically stuff it down, pretend it does not exist, or we blame others, or we partake into drugs and alcohol being the perfect companion of shame. Shame, like all emotions, is a messenger, a very painful one. No one can thrive in shame. However, we can learn to understand what shame is trying to tell us. A note to women here. Most men do not have the same emotional granularity that you have and do not know how to make the difference between shame, I am bad, guilt, I did something bad, humiliation, and embarrassment. In our culture, we have eliminated most rites of passage. Boys tend to be men through shoving down humiliation. This is disastrous because boys become men in a hardened way, not being in touch with their feelings, when they could grow the beautiful masculine quality of stoicity through strengthening with an open heart. Too many men have given up on authenticity, the curse of the nice guy, while others have built an immature relationship with power, which is power over. So the couple is a wonderful adventure. It's not an easy one. Actually, it's a treacherous one, but it is a place in which we can learn about emotional intelligence. We can learn about love. We can learn to soften. We can learn our feelings. We can learn how to better communicate and relate with our beloved in a way that creates more love and happiness. So, where do we start? I invite you to start to understand effect. How does shame show up? What are its triggers? What are its signs? There is a belief that males have fragile egos. Well, for some it is true. However, often it is simply because shame incapacitates men in a similar way that fear incapacitates women. I would love to bring here an important biological, structural part of the nature of men. So men are either powerful, their power is in the upper chest, or they are collapsed. And this is not a huge difference, but basically powerful and collapsed. In my view, a collapsed man is dangerous because he's going to try to find ways to manipulate, blame, coerce, win with power over, when a man in his power typically goes for power with. So, what not to do? First, do not blame or shame a man. You are likely going to disempower him with disastrous results. Either he will withdraw and disconnect, or he will fight back with power over, neither being a good solution. A close cousin is to complain. This is something I see many women having a hard time to understand because their motivation is to improve. But a complaint, especially when it is from their woman, and especially if it is a repeat complaint, tend to trigger men's shame. I am not enough. I am a failure. A more distant cousin is to explain. I worked a while back with a couple in which he was trying to improve on something that was bothering her. They had made the agreement that she would bring his awareness on the behavior that he was trying to change, and he was very grateful for that. And then, without fail, again and again and again, she explained to him why the behavior that he had was bothering her. You can imagine that triggered his shame and was infuriating him. And of course, do not compare. Susie's husband brings her flowers every week. Why don't you? Men and women tend to be motivated differently. Men tend to be motivated internally by a sense of purpose and adhesion to purpose. Women tend to be motivated externally by love. In her excellent book that I highly recommend, Alison Armstrong shares that men are not misbehaving hairy women. It is my experience in a similar way when fear incapacitates women, when fear can invigorate men. Men are incapacitated by shame when shame in homeopathic doses can motivate women. So, what to do to invite his motivation positively? I guarantee you, most men want to make their woman happy. Most men want to become better men. So first, because inevitably you're going to trigger his shame, take responsibility for it, acknowledge it, and offer a take two. Darling, I'm so sorry this came out the wrong way. Or darling, I'm so sorry this triggered your shame. Here is a better way for me to express it. How does that work for you? Second, let him figure it out. Men have a paramount need for respect, the same way women have a paramount need for love. So just imagine his need for respect is as mission critical as love is for you. When you let him figure it out, you give him respect. So here you may share your feeling, you may share your needs, but do not share solutions, do not share how, unless, of course, once in a while, the two of you have a debriefing conversation. We want to improve our marriage. How can we do that? A third way to invite his positive motivation is to give him empathy, because for sure you're going to trigger shame in him, whether you want it or not, it is going to happen a lot more than you think, because men are so easily incapacitated by shame. And so this is the place where shame is fueled by secrecy. I am not enough. I am a failure. I am not lovable. So when you connect with him, and one of the easy ways to do that is to touch him. One of the places shame lives in for men is in their chest. You may remember upper chest, empowered man, lower chest, collapsed man. So when you touch him here, or maybe on the arm or on his forearm, you are making a bid for connection. You are making a kinesthetic invitation for connection, something that he can basically pause and say, oh yeah, I do not need to be in shame. Yes, of course, this is my partner I love. This is my partner that I want to become a better man for. And from that place, he will much more likely figure things out. No one can thrive in shame. In summary, we talked about how shame collapses, debilitates men, how to develop emotional intelligence as a couple, and understanding that shame never motivates a man. If this video inspired you to better understand and manage your shame, I offer coaching both one-on-one and for couples. My email address is in the description below. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified when I publish new juicy content. And please share with all you believe would benefit. I look forward to seeing you very soon.